Hey team, Leo here. I am continuing our series on the different tools that we use. I need to go back and do an overview of the tools first. I'm going to go do that shortly. Next is SimpleSafe. As you guys know, we use SimpleSafe as our credentials manager. It's pretty cool. We host it on our own servers. You get to it by using this funky URL. That's https safeschnerd.com 8086. Don't give that out to anyone outside the company. Well, actually, you have to give it out to people if you create a folder for them, but not people that aren't members and paying for our service. So you log into it, and it gives you a nice little picture of everybody's credentials. It's set up in folders. So if you come over here to the side, you can see all the folders that we have. The residential members are stored in more of this client creds A through, like alphabetically, and we put them below that. That's the old way of doing it. We're not going to do that going forward. What we want to do going forward is give everybody their own folder. The reason we want to do that is it allows them to help maintain their credentials themselves. So, the business members, we've already been doing that with a little bit. So we've already been breaking the business members out because they asked for this a while back, the ability to log into their own accounts. So when you're creating a folder, you go over here to settings, like whenever you're signing up a new member, and you can do a new group here, not folder, group, sorry. Do a new group, and it allows you to create a group. It's kind of goofy because it doesn't have a default set of this layout. So like if you look at nerd credentials, how we have service name, user ID, URL, all this jazz. When you create a new group, you don't get anything here, which is kind of weird, and you have to recreate this every time. I'm hoping that one of our smart computer science nerds would take it upon themselves to figure out how to create a default set of fields whenever you create a new group. That'd be awesome. The other thing I'd love to do, when you create a new group, it doesn't put them in alphabetical order. You have to manually put them where you want them in the list. So we've kind of figured out this thing of 100, 200, 300, kind of like, I don't know if any of you guys used to program in BASIC. When I used to program in BASIC, it had line numbers, and you would do that. You'd do like 10, 20, 30 as your line number. So you had room to insert statements in between statements when you needed to go back. Doing the same kind of thing here. We kind of spaced them out so we have room to insert new members around them. So, for the alphabetical order thing. You put the group name in. You can decide who has access to that folder. So for most of these, you can leave all of us checked. Actually, no, you don't want to do that. You want to uncheck all, and then you want to manually check only the nerds that would have access to that new group, because if you leave everybody in that group, you're going to let some other members have access to some other members' group, which you do not want to do. So only nerds and the member that owns the group should be allowed to access the group. And then if you pick somebody, like let's just pick Varcos here, and we'll create a test group and add the group. And then you'll see what I mean about how it doesn't create any fields. All it does is this one field, which kind of sucks. So we don't like that. If we, let me go ahead. I think I can I delete the group? Yeah, delete the group. So I'm going to delete this one, and it takes it out of the database. But now that whenever we're setting up a new member, we want to set up a new group for them, give it a name, put them in the right order alphabetically so we can find them, and then save that. Preferences here are kind of preferences for their global preferences for everyone. All of the users in the system are laid out right here. Now, let's see, dashboard. So if we come over here to dashboard is back where we were when we're just logged in. So now we're logged in and we can look at any member's credentials. So one we had questions about today, Blunt Orthopedic. Kristen was looking for a admin password for a laptop at Blunt Orthopedic, and she said she was having a very difficult time finding it, which makes a lot of sense to me because whoever did this put the contact in as admin. So whenever you're looking for an admin password, it's kind of challenging because all of these are labeled as admin. if we're going to put a contact in, it needs to be a real person so that we can find them, like whoever owns the equipment. Or if we don't have an owner of the equipment, just put in the contact at the customer site, so at the member site, so we know who it is. But then as you're looking down through here, one of the ways that I kind of look around is maybe, local admin. So if I want a local admin account, I can sometimes find it that way, because you just kind of got to read the mind of the nerds that like created these things. Admin doesn't work. Maybe administrator works. So yeah, so like here's administrator. You have a Active Directory administrator. So that's nice, because if you're on Active Directory, if you're actually on their network, that will work for any of the local machines as an administrator to that machine. Medical managed server, that's the admin for that. Now, another way to look at that is just search by the device and see if you can find laptop, and there's a user for it. If you like a workstation or something, workstation IPs is all it's found. But you kind of get the idea, like you got to kind of think outside the box sometimes. Now, what I'd like to see us doing is cleaning all these up. So actually putting a person's name in here, and you guys know how to do that. Like you go in and you can edit these things by clicking this little gear here, and it allows you to edit any of these fields that are here. Search, the search only works whenever you're inside a group. It doesn't search globally, so you can't use it to search to find a member. In the mobile app, this is a pull down, and you click through these. In the desktop app, you have to hover over here to expand them, and then use your roller wheel to move up and down in the list. So it's a little clumsy. This company's out of business now. We own the code for it. We can go in and modify this code for our own use. We can't resell this, but I do think we need to think about a credentials manager in the future that we could resell with the Neighborhood Nerds membership. So if you have any questions, you create a new profile by clicking here. If you're inside a group, it's going to prompt you for all of this information that you've set up for that group. If you're inside of one of these things and you create a new profile, you're creating a profile with a lot of different members mixed in that group, which, like I said, we're trying to get away from that, so we don't really want to do that very often. And it looks like it might have got tired and hung up on me. So I just hit refresh whenever it does that, and then it'll go grab it again and bring it back. Usually. Now it's acting a little strange. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to cut this off because, there it is. It's back now. But that's how it kind of works, and you would create a new profile here, and then you would use the customer's name, the contact. I've been putting in first name, last name, so that there's a field that I see the entire person's name, because sometimes under a member, there might be people that don't have the same last name as the member that owns the account. Anyway, that's SimpleSafe. Hope you guys enjoy that and learn a little bit about it and make some suggestions yourself. We have a great Trello card of how you can modify these things. So please go do that too. Thanks.